Good morning, everybody, and a big welcome to Google Digital Garage this morning. Welcome along to get started with digital advertising. We have just started a couple of minutes early there, so I'll just give everyone a chance to join the session, which was due to start at 10 o'clock. So I'll just do a couple of introductions and work through what we're going to be looking at this morning. So welcome along to Google Digital Garage. And my name is Glenn. So I'm a trainer for Google's free skills training program, Google Digital Garage. I'm an experienced digital skills trainer, and I do have quite a big background, really, I suppose, in terms of management and consultancy, and really helping businesses identify ways to grow. So that's going to be important here because digital advertising is an excellent way for you to reach your customers and for you to be able to show them the benefits of choosing you and of including you in their plans. You know, when they're going through their search queries, when they're looking and trying to solve some of the challenges that they have online, that you're going to be there, ready and waiting in order for them to benefit from your services. Okay, so I'm not here on my own today. I am joined by the wonderful Kira. Kira is also a trainer for Google Digital Garage, and she's going to be in the YouTube chat for you. So Kira will be in the chat function to interact with you, to speak with you, and to answer your questions throughout the session today. Now, what that means is that we'd love you to pop in and for you to say hello and to introduce yourselves. That's always a really, really nice start to the session. We do really, really, really value interactivity and using this as a community forum. So get involved. Let's see a few people, please, in the chat saying hello now, if that's okay. And introduce yourself. Let us know who you are. Let us know where you're tuning in from today. And perhaps just let us understand why it is that you're here and what it is you're looking to get from this session. And also if you've had any experience with digital advertising so far as well. That would be really, really, really useful. And again, it gives us a really good understanding of where we are, because I can't see you. You can see me and hear me with any luck, but actually obviously I can't hear or see you. So that's going to be great for interaction. It's going to be great for us to get to know each other a little bit. Okay, so anyone just joining the stream now, so welcome along. This is live on YouTube this morning. For the next 60 minutes or so, we're going to be running through Get Started with Digital Advertising. We're going to be looking at search, display and social advertising, looking at how they can be benefits for your business and how you can apply them to ensure that you're reaching your ideal audience and interacting and hopefully getting those sales that you're after. So if you have a look in the chat, Kira will go into the chat and introduce herself to you just in a second. And you will see by her name a little blue spanner once she's there. So she's going to go into the chat and say hello. I can just see and hello from Udunton, Folorunso. Hi, Glenn. Hi, everyone, all the way from Nigeria. So jolly good morning to you and a massive welcome to you and, of course, to Nigeria as well. Thanks very much indeed for tuning in this morning. That is fantastic. So again, please follow his footsteps there and please do say hello as well. We'd love to get to know everybody. All right, so we're underway, we're on time now, that's fantastic. So if you're having any trouble viewing the webinar at the moment, then please do refresh your browser. That should hopefully clear up any issues that you might have. So, you know, it's that age-old adage really of if it's not working, close it down and restart it and everything should be okay. Okay, now that's part of the housekeeping. Now, the other couple of things that we want to cover is that if you can't see the live chat, and again, Kira will pop into the live chat in a second and introduce herself and say hello. And she'll be working with you throughout the session to answer your questions and interact with you. If you can't see that, you are going to need to just sign into your YouTube account and to If you haven't got a YouTube account, perhaps sign up for one. It's only a few clicks, but minimal information really, and then you'll be able to use the history function. You can revisit this webinar for the next 24 hours. And as part of that too, we are running this Google Digital Garage virtual training as part of a much broader offering of courses. You can go those from g.co/digital garage. And again, when Kira's able to log into the chat there, she will share that link with you. That's g.co/digital garage. It's probably where you signed up for today. Today's session. So go back there, look at all the abundance of sessions that we've got to really help you on your digital journey. All right, so that's the housekeeping done now. I'm going to move on and look at getting started with digital advertising. There's a couple more hellos. So we've got Solvi Kitty Ankelsen. I hope I pronounced that okay. You're from Northern Norway. Good morning to you. Probably a little bit chilly today. Let me know if it's a bit chilly today, a little bit cold. A digital marketing student looking for tips on how to sell your services to business when you've finished studying. Brilliant. You're in the right place. Welcome along. And thank you so much for attending our session this morning. And there's Thasneem Majid. Hello from the United Arab Emirates. So good morning to you as well. It's probably not morning where you are, but thank you so much for joining us. All right, let's get on. Let's have a look. So in the session today, we're going to be looking at understanding search advertising in the first section, being there when your customers are searching essentially for businesses like yours. And then in the second section, we'll be looking at display advertising, so increasing your visibility across relevant websites. And then lastly, and in the third section, we're going to be looking at social advertising, which is essentially engaging with your customers and potential customers. Of course, we'd like to get those new customers flowing through and extend our reach on social networks like Facebook or Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever it is that you feel is going to be applicable for you and your audience. So we're going to be looking at the key advertising options that are available to us, the benefits across each of those particular channels. We want to make sure that we're doing the right things with our advertising, and then how we set up our advertising campaigns. There's a couple more names, people saying hello. We've got Samantha, hello from Zimbabwe. Hello, Samantha, welcome to you. And to Hanan Ludi, hi. And also I did get your name right. That's brilliant, Sylvie. That's fantastic. I'm really happy. It's cold, but a lovely morning in Northern Norway. I'd love to go to Norway. I'm a big fan of Sigrid. So I'd actually love to go to Norway just to see what it's like. Anyway, moving on. Now, if you are based in the UK, then and you're working for a small business or a charity, then you can sign up for our Google mentoring at g.co/UK mentoring. It is a service, I say, that's only really applicable in the UK at the moment. So keep an eye out just in case that might change in your territory too. It's an hour with a digital expert. They can help you look at individual challenges you might be having and help you move along in any way that you see appropriate in terms of you developing your business. So give it some thought, because again, it could be something just to help you move along and push you in the right direction. And again, just help you to solve some of those individual challenges that you have. So give that some thought and sign up, or have a look at the website there, g.co/UK mentoring, if you feel it's suitable. Okay, so let's have a look at search advertising now. So search advertising is advertising on search engines like Google or Bing or any other type of search engine that's out. Earlier on, that'd be fantastic. Let us know why you're here. And why you might want to advertise on Google. What do you think the benefits of that could be? Even I've used very similar search terms to this. So you can see the search query in the top left. That's essentially the keywords that have been entered into the search engine. And in this case, it's takeaway pizza. It contains three things mainly: the search engine results page, you've got your query, you've got your ads, which again are signified by a little green box with the word AD or ad in it. And then you've got your organic listings. Now, organic listings are where you have a website, you've launched that website, you've got a domain, and it's active and it's being indexed by Google. That again is something that you would optimize using something like search engine optimization as your technique. It's essentially an unpaid, you don't pay for the privilege, you actually just work really, really hard to get your website up the rankings and up the pages. Now, adverts are paid listings that appear above those organic listings. You can see them highlighted in yellow just over there. And you can see an advert there for Domino's Pizza. So that's the basic structure of a web search page. And I'm absolutely certain we've probably all seen something like that or very similar to it. Now, what we're going to be doing to bring some of the examples that we've got to life today is we're going to be looking at Pauli's Pizzeria. It's an Italian restaurant situated in Edgbaston in Birmingham. So Edgbaston is a district of Birmingham in the UK, in the Midlands. Paulie wants to increase sales and is interested, so that's his goal. He wants to increase sales and he's interested to know how digital advertising can help him. Okay, that's fantastic. So we can work through that with and for Paulie, and again, start to think a little bit laterally in terms of how this might well apply to you and your business and the tactics that you can do, which again, we're going to be covering here to help ensure that you're being there when your customers need you and that you're appealing to them in the right places at the right times. Again, that is one of the objects of this session this morning. Okay, so a process for search engine marketing, or SEM, as you might well have seen it named. So step one, we need to understand our customers. That's really, really key and crucial, and it's going to be an utterly vital step in all of your digital marketing exploits. Step two, we need to find our keywords, those matching terms that we have in our website that people are entering as their search queries. Then step three is we're going to create our ad copy. We're going to put together something that's going to catch the eye. And then step four, we need to put all of that together to build ourselves an effective campaign. So, we need to understand what our target customer wants. We need to appeal to them. We need to appeal to their senses. So step one, step two, step three, step four, let's again, write this down. Perhaps you've got pen and paper, perhaps you're using a note-taking device. These are really, really good steps to keep in mind to help you to systematically work through at a later stage. So step one is understanding your customers. So who is your audience? Again, let us know who you feel your audience is for your particular business. Again, pop that in the chat. I can see Kira's come into chat there. So welcome, Kira. Good to see you there. Now, we're just going to have a look at audience. Who are they? What's important to them? You have to start to get perhaps into the mind of your customers and your audience to know and to speak to them appropriately, to speak to them in the right tone, and to be essentially appealing to them. So in terms of understanding our customers, now we're back to the Pauli's Pizzeria example. We have to look at who our audience is. So who might be three potential target audiences for a pizzeria? So I can certainly say that in the UK, that could well be students. Students are great fans of fast food, I think, takeaway food, convenience food, and pizzas. Busy professionals, so people who might not have a great deal of time to cook or a great deal of time for cooking, may well want to eat a little bit on the go, are essentially leading busy lives. And of course, pizza lovers, people who just absolutely love pizza. So these now, we've broken this down. So we've got three potential target audiences. So again, maybe think about your business. Do you have three potential target audiences that you are able to start to think about advertising to? Now, one really important thing, because Pauli's Pizzeria is a local business, so he's not wanting to advertise or be recognized worldwide. People are only going to go so far for a pizza. So is that applicable to you and your business? Are you looking at a national scale, an international scale, or just a local scale? In the UK, we use a thing called postcodes. So Pauli's Pizzeria, in terms of people perhaps walking or delivery areas, it's going to be quite a confined area that Pauli's going to appeal to, because there's probably other pizza places in the vicinity as well. So Edgbaston, which is in Birmingham, is where Pauli's customers probably are. And there's also a postcode there, B15. So when it comes to the people that are enjoying pizzas, three things that are important to them when it comes to a product like yours. So again, think about your business. Again, think, apply this to you in terms of whatever you're doing. What three things maybe are going to be important to your customers and your audience that are going to be great selling points? So here we've identified a variety of toppings, because we like choice and we don't want the same thing every day. We could also look at fast delivery, again, for those busy professionals who don't have much time. And then authentic ingredients for those pizza lovers, the people that are really connoisseurs of this type of cuisine. So on that basis, authentic ingredients could be a great pull to get people to engage with your business. So now that we've identified a bit of an audience and we've identified what's important to them, some good benefits and some good selling points, we need to come up with some keyword ideas. So again, we're going to do a simple way to start to pull keywords together with a little exercise in a moment. What I will ask, Kira, if you could put a link into Google Ads into the chat for people. There is a keyword planner in Google Ads. You don't have to have a paid active campaign to use it, and it will give you an idea of keywords and potential ideas really for you to use when you are looking to match huge chunks, really, I think, of keywords ready for your customers who are inputting in all of the different ways that we search for products like yours. Have a good think about how you search for a product like yours. This is key when you're looking at things like keywords. So keywords are words or phrases that are used to match your adverts with the terms that people are searching for. So you want to essentially there identify the words that people are using when they're searching for products like yours. So in the example page, you can see there where it says, what's a keyword? What's a keyword are the keywords. So you can see how that works. Everything you type into a search query essentially are keywords, because there's going to be a challenge. We use search engines because we've got a challenge. We need to find something out. We need to perhaps have a problem resolved or a challenge resolved. So therefore, the keywords we type in are helping us move towards a destination where we solve our challenge. And you, as the advertiser, want to be the solution for your customers' challenges. So to take this a little bit further, and again, back to Paulie's Pizzeria example. So we've broken this down to keywords that closely relate to your business. So for Paulie, that's pizza, that's fast food, because fast food is a recognized term that people will use for things like pizza. And then we've got takeaway, because in the UK, we call that type of food takeaway food. So he's well on the way there to identifying some words which will link together, which will be used by his customers when they're in the search query phase of their journey. Now, because we've identified that Paulie's Pizzeria is quite a local business, then we are able to look at keywords related to the locality. So that is, I think, quite clearly going to be Edgbaston and Birmingham, and that B18, which is a postcode, the area, the little district that he's in. Now, what you can do with keywords, so you've got 3 keywords related to your business, 3 keywords related to your locality, and then you can combine those in different ways. So the total combination of keywords that you get there, you got 9 different keywords. You got pizza B18, pizza Edgbaston, pizza Birmingham, fast food B18, fast food Edgbaston, fast food Birmingham. Now, the point of this is that it's good to have quite a big list of keywords where you can possibly work them out, because people will be typing in perhaps any or all of those combinations over time to find your business. And so for this, they could be saying, I need a takeaway in B18. So we want Paulie to come up when they do that search query. So he needs to have that takeaway B18 in his keyword list in the back of his website. So we can then see takeaway Edgbaston, because people could be in Edgbaston. What's on offer in Edgbaston? And again, we want Paulie to come up in those results. So here's an exercise for you just to, again, take this a little bit further. Match the keywords with the business. Let's have a look at these. So we can see we've got a mobile hairdresser in Birmingham, a phone repair shop in Birmingham, a cupcake shop in Birmingham, and an online fancy dress shop. So have a look underneath. I'll give you a few moments just to have a look at those. So for the mobile hairdresser, then perhaps one of the keyword options could be barber Birmingham, because barber is another name in the UK that we use for hairdressers. So on that basis, you have to think about how people speak and how people refer to your type of business. With the phone repair shop, then we've got a good example here, Phone Repair Birmingham. Fine. Then for the cupcake shop, you might be using Best Cupcakes in Birmingham. Again, Best is a highly used keyword, well worth looking into if that's appropriate for you. And then for the online fancy dress shop, one of the examples here could well be Cupcake Costume. So that's a little bit of a tricksy one, because again, that doesn't refer to the cupcake shop, that refers to the costume because it's a cupcake costume. So again, make sure that you're using all of the keywords in the best combinations to reflect what you have in your business, your products, and what you have perhaps in stock. So here's the answers to those. So again, under the blue, the red, the yellow, and the green, you can see all of the combinations and all of the options that we saw there. Now, one of the key things to look at there very quickly is you can see under Phone Repair Shop in Birmingham, where can I fix my iPhone screen BHAM? BHAM is an abbreviation of Birmingham. So BHAM is another keyword to use because, again, that's how people might type and enter their search queries. This might be a good exercise for you and your friends. If you needed my type of service, how would you find me? And look at all of the options they come up with. They could well be very good keyword ideas for you. So take some notes on that screen. Again, remember all of the variations that you have, same day cakes, Birmingham, Best Cupcakes in Birmingham, men's Halloween costume, XXXL. So again, the sizes, if you're a clothes retailer, the sizes of the clothes that you have and what you stock could be excellent keywords for you to use because people are searching for their sizes. Same with shoes. For me, that would be shoes size 11. So remember to keep your options very, very broad and wide with keywords. So let's have a look now at creating some search adverts. We've determined what our business is about, what we feel will appeal to our audience and our customers. And then we've started to look at some of the keywords they're going to be using to search and to find us. So now we can start to look at creating an advert. So we have the keywords, as we say now, that's good. So keywords are going to target what people are searching for, but your adverts are the things that are going to make them click, the things that are going to stop them in their tracks, the things that are going to, perhaps if they're on a mobile device, stop scrolling and say, that is the business that I'm looking for. So when you build an ad, you can see a demonstration on the screen on the right-hand side there. You can see that these tools, so Google Ads, for example, is a very easy tool to use because you put the URL where you're sending them to. You can then use your headlines and it builds that example that you can see at the bottom. So pizza takeaway in Edgbaston, fast 15-minute delivery. So that's something that could be very, very enticing for people as a benefit for them to use your service. They get their food in 15 minutes. If you're a busy professional, as we saw in our target audience, that could be very, very appealing. And it also could be more appealing because they've got a little offer in there too. If we don't get your pizza to you in 15 minutes, we're going to give you a free pizza, order now. So there's two things there. One is you've got a great offer. And I think that's quite a challenge, actually, to get people a pizza in 15 minutes. They must be really, really good and very efficient indeed. So that is going to appeal to people. But then also, they've got a call to action. So always include a call to action on your adverts. The order now is a call to action, a CTA, as they're known. Get people doing what you want them to do. Often telling people what to do next is the thing that they want to do anyway. So you're giving them an easy way to achieve that very, very quickly. And we often want things to be done online very, very quickly indeed. So let's again have a look at matching the ad headline to the customer. So again, this is from the pizza example that we had. So if we're targeting now the people who value convenience, what are those options on the screen are we going to use? If we're targeting people who value the variety, then what are we going to use? And then if we're valuing people who like that authentic experience, which of those are we going to match? So again, we've got the blue, the yellow, and the green. The next slide is going to have the most, it's going to have the answers to those examples. So I'll just give you a few seconds just to try and match up in your own mind which of those offers, which of those benefits are going to match up with the people in the blue, the yellow, and the green. And here they are. So as we can see, if we're trying to appeal with our ad directly to people who value convenience, then that scheduled delivery is available because we know when it's going to turn up. That's a great benefit, a great service. Also a fast 15-minute delivery. Again, very good for people who value convenience. Now, for people who value variety, that again, we don't want the same thing every time we order, then maybe that 17 different toppings is going to be appealing, or a different deal. So you can get a bit of money off a different deal every day. That's a nice benefit for customers who want to try a big range of your menu. Then people who value an authentic experience, we've got authentic Neapolitan pizza or live Italian music. So that's setting an ambiance. It sounds like with live Italian music that they are a walk-in establishment that you can go in, perhaps take your family in, sit down and eat and enjoy your meal. And they've got live Italian music going on while you're there. So again, it's really creating images in your audience's mind and making sure that the experience really matches what it is that they're looking for. All right, so I hope that makes sense. And again, look at how you can do this and how you can start to work this for your type of business. Work systematically through the minds of your potential customers. You've identified what they're into, what makes them tick, and what is appealing or might be beneficial to them. And then you're accommodating that. So if you know that your audiences value convenience, you need to make sure you can get the food to them quickly and that you can do it perhaps at a time that they choose. Again, perfectly taken with the scheduled delivery and the 15-minute delivery there. So now we need to put all of that together. We need to put together our audience and what we know about them and what we think is going to help them with our keywords, then with our actual ad and the words that we're going to use. So how do we do that? Then we go on to Google Ads. So we log into Google Ads. And again, I know that Kira has shared that link. Thank you very much indeed, Kira. That's much appreciated. Then step 2, we're going to click the plus button and select a new campaign. Again, campaign, a dynamic word. We do want a return on investment. We're going to be putting some effort into this. So it's a great word to use. And then we're going to select the type of campaign. So for these purposes, we're on a search campaign. We want our ads to be showing up in the search space on our search engine once that search query's gone in. Then nextly, we need to look at our targeting settings. Again, this is one of the great benefits of using paid tools in order to really target your audience, because you can see there on the far left example that you can use all countries and territories, so worldwide. But again, we know that's not appropriate for Paulie's Pizza. The United Kingdom, again, that's still going to be too broad. We don't want people who are 50 miles, 100 miles, 200 miles away ordering from Paulie's, because they're not going to come and get it. There's not going to be a delivery service that's going to take that to them. So again, it's making sure you're using your location targeting appropriately. So he's targeting B15, which is that Edgbaston postcode. And again, you can target people in the area or people who show in those types of targeted locations. So you can see that your targeting can be very, very granular indeed, and that this is going to help you get a return on investment, because the right people in the right area are the ones that are going to see your adverts. Your adverts won't be served to people further away than that postcode, for example. So that really, really helps you not waste any clicks whatsoever. Then you add your keywords. So we saw the combinations of the keywords that we designed earlier on, your pizza B15, your pizza Edgbaston, etc., etc. And you can copy and paste all of those keywords in and create as many as you feel your customers are using. Then you're going to create your advert. And again, you have that nice systematic approach, different fields. So the final URL is going to be pauliespizza.co.uk. The headline is Pizza Takeaway in Edgbaston, and you can see the preview at the bottom as you're creating the advert. You can see what it's going to look like. So that's really, really helpful too. Pizza to you in 15 minutes, or we'll give you a free pizza. Order now. And that just goes into the description box. So a really nice way for you to work it. So, my best advice is to create this on a document or on a piece of pen and paper beforehand, see how it looks, transfer it then over to, and you can see how that looks on a mobile, and you can see how that's going to look on a desktop too. So making sure that you're catering for as many of the devices that your customers may be using to order from you. The most popular device out there at the moment is the mobile, it is the smartphone. So just bear that in mind. Okay, so we've now looked at the structure. We've now looked at the logic about how, for whatever business it is that we're in, how we can apply that and how we can start to get our adverts coming to life, and of course making sure that they're going to be as appealing as is possible to our really valuable customers. So we're going to move into the first pause for questions, and I'm just going to have a very quick look to see if anything's come in. So I can't see any questions that have come through that Kira hasn't been answering for you. So we will move into the second section. But again, if you do have any questions, please pop them into the chat. Kira will answer most of those for you. Otherwise, she might well find you some links that you can go away and research with afterwards. And she may well pass a couple on to me that I can answer in these pause for questions. Just a quick mention, we do have a feedback form at goo.gle/digital garage feedback. So if you'd like to leave us your feedback on the session, then please do so. That would be fantastic. We always like to improve and take your comments on board. Okay, so then we're going to move into display advertising. Again, has anyone here used display advertising? Let us know in the chat function. So display advertising is probably reasonably familiar. I'm sure that a lot of us have seen display adverts. They come in all shapes and sizes, predominantly those image banners. There's some examples on the screen there of some well-created display ads. You can use text adverts, image adverts, video adverts, very popular, and adverts across the mobile websites. They can be effective in getting people to click because they're more visual, and a lot of us really enjoy the visual form. So how is advertising in this format, the display format, different from search advertising? Well, search advertising, you're using the search engine essentially. It's relevant when you want to generate sales because you're going directly on search. Display advertising, you serve your adverts across different websites that you can help to choose because you think your audience will probably be there, and thus it will be relevant to them. You can use news blogs, local websites, whatever you think is appropriate. So for Paulie, maybe that is going to be a local food directory. They're relevant when your objective, your business goal, is to drive brand awareness or traffic through to your website for people to perhaps then order from you as a result. So we're going to go through the process for display advertising, very similar to the process we looked at in terms of search advertising. We want to understand our customers. Again, that's clearly important. We want to find the right placements because there are a lot of websites we could potentially use. We want to create a great advert with a good image focus and a good image targeting. For us to make sure that we stand out from all of the other image adverts that are out there, and then we want to put it all together. So who are our audience? Again, going back to the example that we had. So now Paulie's considering his display options. Then we're back to the students, the busy professionals, and the pizza lovers that we identified earlier on. So that's the same. Now, where are they going to be? So this again is where you do a bit of audience research and where you understand where your audience might be working and what they might be doing. So it could well be student websites, local food directories, and food blogs, because again, they're all going to be associated with food. Paulie's Pizzeria, it's food, it's takeaway. And a good place, if you know that students are part of your key audience, it could well be a good idea to advertise perhaps on student websites where students are already looking. Okay, so finding the placement ideas, it's actually moved on a little bit now, and you will use the network planner and get ideas and placement ideas by discovering websites that could be appropriate for your type of adverts. And again, we'll come back to that a little bit later on. But essentially, what you can do is see a list of websites with their popularity, the amount of clicks that they actually get on a weekly basis or a daily basis, and look at the appropriateness. And again, think, will my particular target audience be there? Is that where they're going to best benefit from seeing my adverts? Are they going to click through when they see my adverts on those websites? Now, we want to make sure, as it says here, though, in step 3, that we want to make our adverts as visually appealing as possible. So there's a good demonstration on the right-hand side of a visually appealing advert. Again, that does make me feel a bit hungry because it's a nice, colourful picture. It shows a pizza being prepared. It shows, you can see the fingers there of the food preparation. Someone's getting this ready. They're making that food look good. So again, we've got the offer in place. So we've got some descriptive elements. The pizza in Edgbaston, that's where it is. We've got buy one pizza, get second one free. So that's the offer. That's the enticement to get people in, because we all love something for free, or to get one of those buy one, get one free type offers. And there's also the blue circle. You click on that, that's going to take you to the website in order to help you to order. So good imagery is always important, something to stand out, something to make the image really kind of pop for people and to stop them in their tracks and think, yeah, that looks good, I'd like to have some of that type of pizza. So putting that all together, again, a very similar process that we saw in search. So we want to go through to Google Ads, and this time we're going to select the display campaign. So we've moved on now from search campaign, we're going to do the display campaign. We're going to do our target settings and be really specific. So you can see on the right-hand side that they've gone for Edgbaston, Birmingham. And you can see how you're able to really just target a specific area, a specific postcode, a really very specific place. And that's really, really important for Paulie, as we've said, because his audience, his customers are not going to be traveling that far in order to get his product, because there's probably a fair amount of competition in the area, which means that people have much more choice. And when people have much more local choice, then you have to make sure you stand out from that local competition. So step 4, we want to find our website placements. So as I mentioned, you can look at websites, you can check out those websites and see if they're appropriate and if you think they might work for you. You can see how many impressions, so the amount of people that are actually seeing that website per week in terms of their search results. Again, you can start to really understand the appropriateness of that website for you and for your business. Now, when you're creating your advert, you can see in the middle there that you, again, are directing people through to a final URL. When they click on your advert, they're going to go there to pauliespizza.co.uk. Add assets underneath that. Assets are essentially the images that you're going to be using to make your advert stand out. The headline there is going to be Pizza in Edgbaston. And you can see that when you review the advert that you've just built on the screen there, you've got the image that you can see under Add Assets. And that's important too. There's a reason that's a good image. That's because you've got somebody who's having a good time with the product that's being advertised. You've got a person, she's got a smiley face, she seems to be enjoying the food, really enjoying her time there. That's kind of, we look at that advert and we think, I'd like to be enjoying that food as well. Photographs that have good headshots, that have smiley faces, positive looking people in them, again, are going to work a lot better than if you have adverts perhaps with slightly more grumpy looking people in them. Again, it's all about the positivity. It's all about the positivity of the experience. We can see there that they've put, again, very clearly, it's Pizza in Edgbaston. So if you're in Edgbaston, you can probably get to us pretty quickly, or we'll deliver to you. And then the buy one pizza, get the second one free is your offer. Again, something to draw people through. They say, yeah, that sounds like a pretty good deal to me. And of course, the ability to click through straight through to the website. So that's really how you put your Google display ads together, and how you can use these easy to use tools to be really, really helpful to you and your business, and to target the people that are looking for the products and the services that are just like yours. All right, we've come through to the second pause for questions. So I've got a couple of things come in there from Hanem Ludi. So where do I then place the keywords found? Again, as we saw from the example, then there is a place for you to put the keywords in. With the tool, you can copy and paste those in. Sometimes you can import them in from spreadsheets, depending on how many you've got and how you've put them together. But again, that will be clearly labeled on your journey through the tool when you set up your advert. There's a very clear spot for your keywords. And then the ones that generate most clicks, well, that's something you have to experiment with. You're going to see when you start bidding on keywords, that some keywords cost a lot more than others. And that's because they're really, really popular keywords. And so they are the ones that are probably generally being used the most. You don't really always have to use the most expensive keywords, though. If you look for small variations that work on those types of keywords, you might find a much cheaper option per click, which again might well suit your budget more. So there's a bit more of a science to that. When you say about the best place to place them, Hannah, then what I'm guessing you're saying there, that depends. I mean, you have choice with the page, so maybe it's going to be the top left, maybe it's going to be the top right, maybe it's going to be down the side. That again, there's no set answer, but I think generally probably nearer the top of the page and perhaps on the right hand side. Where do people's eyes go when they look at your website? Where is their main focus being drawn to? There are lots of websites and lots of experiments that go on online to help us ascertain that. There's a thing called heat mapping. So maybe you type into your Google search heat mapping for websites, and again look to see where adverts are generally being looked at the most. There are certain parts of the page that people look at more than others instinctively. So do a bit of research, have a look at that. Again, it's good fun to look at that type of information and then think, where are people going to find my advert and use it in the most applicable way? So thank you very much indeed for your questions. That's most appreciated. Some great questions there as well. So now we're going to move into the next section of the webinar. And we're going to be looking at social paid advertising. So, okay, who's using social media? Please pop that into the chat. And who's using social media for their business? That would be really, really interesting to know. And we know that there's a lot of people using social media at the moment. And, you know, again, what do you think potentially the benefits of using social media might be? You know, again, let us have your experiences. It's really, really great as a community to understand how we're all getting on. Okay, so we can see here some social channels and some icons I'm sure that a lot of us recognize. So we've got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, and LinkedIn. So who's using any of those? And is anybody using any of those platforms for their business already? Again, let us know in chat. So this is paid social media advertising, or as it's quite commonly known, social media marketing, or SMM. So again, yeah, please drop it in chat. What are your experiences of using social media? Thank you, Kira. Exactly. Let's have an understanding of how you think these platforms may well benefit you. So while you do that, let's have a look. Now, why should we use social advertising? It's a great question. Now, we want to drive broad awareness of our business, and social media, in terms of the digital marketing funnel, kind of works at both ends. It works at the awareness stage. It also works at the retention and returning customer stage as well. So we can create adverts with a specific objective to get our target audience to perhaps to like our page. It's always good to set ourselves some goals. What do we want from the advert that we're producing? What results are we after? You know, likes don't pay bills. You know, we want people clicking through really, and perhaps going onto the website to actually order. But as long as you know the metric that you have in mind that you would like to analyze to see that your adverts are actually working over time, then that's the important bit. You might want people to share. You might people want to click through to your website or download a white paper or sign up to your newsletter, something that again engages them with you more. Now, you might want to drive people to perhaps a special promotion that you've got on your website. So think about your audience, think about again who you're talking to, think about the special offers that you might have available to you, the promotions. You know, one thing about social networks is they are really, really, really busy places, and again, we're using that scrolling thing, aren't we? You know, people scroll through very, very quickly and quite absent-mindedly, perhaps sometimes. So you need to be creating something on a channel that is going to stand out and that is going to draw people's attention and stop them in their tracks. So I can see from Hammond Ludi, mainly Instagram, chat with customers if needed. So again, using social media appropriately to get people's attention, but also to interact and to be a customer service function. That is one of the great benefits of using social media. So the main differences between organic and paid social media, there's one really key difference here, which I'll cover in a second. But Organic social media, your views, actions, or clicks from posts are free. So that's when you have an account and you essentially post. Now you can only reach your followers and friends of followers there. That's the important bit, which organic reach essentially on social media now is utterly minimal. You're hardly going to reach anyone at all on that basis. That's why considering paid social media is going to be a good option, because as it says there, you can reach anyone. And once you do start to use paid social media, you'll see the options that become available to you. And that's really, really important to note as well, because you have that targeting options that you saw in the Google Ads example. You can go down into great levels of detail in terms of the customers and the audience you're trying to reach. So some well-timed social media paid campaigns throughout the year, or whenever you know that people are looking specifically perhaps for a service like yours, could be good investments for you. As I say, organic reach on social media, again, type that into a search engine, organic reach on social media. You'll see some articles which will be very enlightening as to the usefulness of organic social media right now. So bear that in mind when it comes to what you want to achieve and how you're going to plan that out. Your adverts can appear in many more places, many more places. So there are some distinct differences between paid and organic social media, and it is really, really important to note that. So bear that in mind. Again, do a bit more research on that and get yourself acquainted with how organic and paid social media works, and again what the key differences are, thus what the key benefits for you might well be in using either of those channels. So we can see the comparison of organic and paid social media posts. Now we've got an organic Facebook post on the left, and on the right we have a sponsored post. So the key visible differences there that we can see, I mean, you've got more to look at, more to take in from the paid placement there. You know, you've got look good and feel good. So you've got extra incentives for people to click on your specific advert. You've got a very clear like page in the top right hand side. So it's helping your audience make a decision probably a lot quicker than the organic version on the left hand side. So the key differences there are visually the amount of information that you can share. Again, you will have very similar text levels there, but it opens up and gives people more options on how they interact. And that's really, really important, I think, for this example as well. So we can see here now, on the left-hand side is the organic post. And actually, there is something I'd like to say about the organic social media post on the left, and that is don't use too many hashtags. Hashtags can now be overused, and they can make posts look a little bit spammy. So always use hashtags. I mean, this is an Instagram example. So on that basis, I think you can use up to about 30 hashtags on Instagram, but maybe use up to about 10 to make it look still good, and to use hashtags that are appropriate for the thing that you're trying to achieve. So that's one thing. The second thing that's important here is, if you were to look on the left-hand side at the organic post, if you wanted those trainers, those white trainers with the gold 3 stripes, then what you're going to have to do there is come out of your social media. You're going to have to go onto a web page. You're going to have to search on Adidas, perhaps original might be the good keyword to use there in your search. And you're going to have to go on their website, and then you're going to have to search through and actually find those specific trainers. Now that could be a fairly time-consuming thing to do. So remembering that people's attention spans are not that great, and that we have limited patience, I believe, as the digital age gives us more and more convenience. I think that you have to bear in mind that your customers are probably only willing to go so far, that they want a quick and easy and smooth experience, and they just want you to take them to the important bits to them. So therefore, for the organic example, that's going to take a while to locate that particular type of trainer. On the right hand side, the paid example though, you have one massive advantage. And that is, so that trainer, if you think, yep, that trainer on the right, that's the one I want, that looks so good to me and I want to buy it, you have an instant shop now opportunity underneath the item. So rather than having to come out, go to a search engine, find the trainer, etc., what you're actually doing there is you're clicking on that shop now. That's going to give you the opportunity to actually buy that trainer straight away in essentially probably a couple of clicks. So there is a huge advantage for the paid way of working, for the paid social advertising to be really, really effective for you, because people will get to your product very, very quickly indeed. So think about that as an option for you when you're building your ads up. Again, just here, organic versus paid. Again, you've got more image options there. You can see that it's a promoted post. People understand that you've paid to promote that. You've got the links. Again, it's really, this is on Twitter, by the way, a Twitter example. So you just have more options. It gives you more benefits, I think, overall. It's giving you more direct links to take you through and clearer links that you can access very, very quickly to take you through to the material that you want to get through very quickly. So a lot of it does come down to convenience, audience convenience, and them fulfilling their journey as quickly as they possibly can do. So where are we going to advertise? There are lots and lots of different options available, and it can be a challenge for us to decide which social network that we're actually going to focus on. A good piece of advice at this point is start small and work up. It's much better to be on 1 or 2 and see how effectively they're working for you than to be on 9 or 10 and to not populate or to update your listings on those. Because if I'm looking for you as a potential customer and I check you out on different channels and you're not posting or they're blank, then that's possibly going to reduce your credibility in my eyes. That's an important thing to mention. How are you going to be judged by your online presence? Because we as customers make judgments very, very quickly. So effectively populating and producing great posts and great content for different social media channels, 1 or 2 of them perhaps, and then working up. Do we need 3 or 4? Maybe we do. Can we do that? Can we schedule? Can we be regular? All of the important things are going to be really, really important considerations. There's no point having a channel for the sake of it if it's just sat there doing nothing, because your customers may not appreciate that as much as you think. So a process for our social media advertising is we want to choose our objective, choose our audience, create our ad creative, and set our budget as well. All things that are going to be very, very I suppose, independent for you as a business. These are all going to change for people. Again, there's no set formula. You want to make sure that you're appealing to that key audience. So where is your audience? Now, your social media channels are going to have a thing called an insights function. Facebook's got and Instagram have got really, really good insight functions, but all of the key social media channels have insight functions, and they tell you the people that are coming through, their age ranges, demographic information, their location information, lots and lots of things to help you tailor the right types of adverts for your audience in terms of your social media postings. So always use your insights, learn about insights, learn about the intelligence that these give you on your audience and the people that you're trying to appeal to. So you can see on the screen there that the key audience type for this particular business is 35 to 44 years old. And it seems that within that age range, predominantly women, just about in terms of the percentage. But overall, yeah, women are taking up 52% and men are taking up 47% of the overall audience. So you know who you're talking to. You know who you can then start to tailor your writing and your words to. So this really helps you to create your campaigns as effectively as you can. So use insights to your advantage as much as you possibly can. Also look at what your competitors are doing. So there's a competitor for Pauli's, Pizza Rapido. They've made a good use in their ads because they've integrated reviews. Reviews are great for social proof. Reviews are going to really help you to make that decision. They've got a 4.2 out of 5 over 10 reviews. They could be a good place to go because that seems very, very positive indeed in terms of the feedback that Pizza Rapido has received. They've got their address there, so you can find them quickly. It's got the opening time. So if you want a pizza at 4 o'clock, then you know Pizza Rapido is not the place for you because they open at 5. You've also got 2 calls to action there, the call now and the like. So there are ways that you can interact with that post that can be of benefit to your audience. Look at what your competitors are doing. Look at what they're doing well, and look at what they're doing not so well. That helps you to then think, I'd like to do a bit more like that, the things they're doing well, and I'm going to avoid doing the things that I don't like about their advert. And that's going to help you to really tailor your approach. So that should be quite useful as well in terms of strategy. You can get so much from competition, from industry peers in terms of what they're doing, how they're doing it, and you can start to refine your approach as a result. It also helps you to keep really, really up to date with them as well, and with perhaps any industry changes that are going on, big developments and things. Sometimes your competitors get there before you do, and so again, it pays to look at what they're doing. So if you have a website, then one of the things you can do is link up to Google Analytics. Google Analytics is a fantastic free web analytics tool that tracks visitors to your website. It also pretty much tracks every click that goes on your website as well. Now, the example that we've got on the screen is from Universal Analytics, which is changing to GA4, Google Analytics 4, very, very soon in terms of mid-2023. But for this example, we've got the acquisition report, the all traffic and channels. What that's doing is that's telling you of all of the social media channels that you're running. So this website is running 6. They're running YouTube, Facebook, Quora, Reddit, Twitter, etc. But this shows the ones that are actually working. So how good is that? Because what that tells you is that YouTube is the most effective channel pushing people through and getting clicks through to your website. So this, you could say then that we understand that the audience for this particular website, they really like the visual form. They like videos because videos are the things that are pushing people through. You've got 1,124 of the 1,972 total visits there. Facebook is the next most popular. So we might see that we might want to focus on YouTube and Facebook and really work on those to make them more and more engaging and appealing. And perhaps we don't want to use the ones that are nearer the bottom because they just don't seem that effective for our business. So you can start to make those deductions by using tools like Google Analytics. And again, thank you, Kira, for posting your analytics link there. Again, have a look at that, check it out, do some research and look if it's something that will benefit you. I could not tell you how important analytics and insights tools actually are to help you with your digital marketing pursuits. They're really, really key. So if we want to target people, then on Facebook, again, think about the information you put into platforms. That's the information that marketers can get out. So with Facebook, we're looking at location, gender and age, their interests and their life events. Think again about what people are posting and what you can gain from that. Look at perhaps some of the customers you already have and the platforms that they're on and the posts that they're making. Gain great intelligence to help you write posts that appeal to them. With Twitter, we're looking at location, gender and age, keywords, and who they're following, because on Twitter you follow. On LinkedIn, we're looking at location, gender and age, job title and skills, because again, that's the information that you put into a platform like LinkedIn. Now, to take that a bit further, we've got an example in blue, red, and yellow there. I want to target females who live in Coventry, who like jewelry and have a birthday coming up. So in terms of the platform that we're using there, that is going to be Facebook. Again, thinking about how we've worked the logic of the previous slide together. The second example, I want to target people who live in Leeds and are following my competitors. So that is going to be Twitter. And then on the right-hand side, I want to target financial directors who work in IT based in the UK. That's going to be LinkedIn. So you can see that you will find for your targeting options, different options based on the platform that you choose. So work on those wisely. And again, find the platforms that your customers are actually on and use those. Find out, run polls, let people talk to them. Perhaps if you've got a physical shop or something like that, find out what platforms they like, where they're on, because then you can start to advertise directly to those platforms. Right, we've come to the last Pause for questions. Can see one coming from Hanem Ludi again. Hello, thank you very much for your questions. How can we do the timing? Again, if you use insights and analytics functions, I think that's going to be my best answer. You will see the times of day that your customers are online, the times of day that they're clicking through to your website or clicking on your posts or are there actively looking at your posts. So use your insight functions. Also think about the customers that you're identifying and think about what time they've got available to them. So if your customers are mainly working throughout the day, then maybe they're online at breakfast time in the morning, maybe at lunchtime in their break, maybe after work when they're sitting down perhaps to eat their evening food, or when they're perhaps sat in front of the TV relaxing and kind of chilling out from the day. So maybe that's going to be, the morning, the lunchtime, the evening between 7 and 9. If they've got children, what time are they putting their children to bed? So maybe they're looking at their social media or looking at their things they want to look at online after that. So start to think about your audience, identify who they are, what their patterns are likely to be on a day-to-day basis, and then you will start to understand perhaps the best time to schedule your ads and to get your advertising out there so that they're online as that ad appears. That's ideal. That's you targeting your ideal audience. But insights functions, analytics functions are going to really, really help you with timings because they give you heat maps of the most popular times of day. The people that are using your website are actually online. So that's a really great way, again, for you to learn about your audience. So I hope that really helps with that question. Again, some crucial information can be gathered from analytics. So your next steps, I think, are to consider what options might work well for you, to work through the options that we looked at earlier on, identify who your audience are, identify what's important to them, the benefits that might make them click through, creating some good imagery and things that are going to appeal to them and stop them in their tracks when they're scrolling. Bring all of those things together and then think about the platforms that you want to choose, remembering again to choose the most important platforms that you feel your audience are on. You could use analytics as well, remember, to identify the channels that are pushing through the most customers and work on and focus on those. Okay, so also now, again, quite appropriately, we have this free one-to-one mentoring service available in the UK. That's g.co/UK mentoring. I'm sure that Kira won't mind just sharing the link for that, g.co/UK mentoring. So if you're a small business or charity in the UK, you can get an hour talking to a digital expert. I'm on there. We've had some great conversations and great output, and it helps you to focus specifically on your business and the variables of your business. So give that some thought as well. Okay, so essentially that leads me to say thank you very much indeed, and I hope that you've enjoyed this journey through digital advertising and looking at all the options that might work for you and for your business. Remember to go onto the Google Digital Garage site, that's g.co/digital garage, and to sign up for more sessions like these to broaden your knowledge of the entire digital marketing world. Also look at some of the free courses, the no-cost courses we've got on the Digital Garage website. The fundamentals of digital marketing will really help you with this type of topic as well. Again, that's based on the Google Digital Garage website. Use our feedback at goo.gle/digital garage feedback as well, and let us know what you thought of the session, and again, what we can do to help you more in the future. So all that really leaves me is to say goodbye. Thank you so much again for your time. It's been a great hour. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope to see you all again soon on another Google Digital Garage webinar. See you later. Bye-bye.